You've been lied to about power. They told you revenge is confrontation, that strength is loud, that healing means closure, apology, or explanation. But what if the deepest form of destruction is your complete absence? Not ghosting out of weakness, not silence born from fear, but a calculated withdrawal so complete, so absolute, that the person who hurt you is left with nothing but the echo of their own insignificance. This is Stoic erasure, and it's the most psychologically dominant move you can make. Here's what most people do when they're betrayed. They react, they defend, they explain, they post, they vent, they seek witnesses to validate their pain, and in doing so, they hand over their power on a silver platter. Because reaction is proof you're still controlled. Silence, real silence, is proof you've moved beyond their orbit entirely. Marcus Aurelius didn't write about his enemies. He didn't argue with critics. He focused on governing his mind, his empire, his inner citadel. And his enemies, they faded into irrelevance. Not because he destroyed them, but because he made them irrelevant by comparison. That's the difference. When you go silent after betrayal, you're not hiding, you're ascending. You're removing yourself from a game they're still desperate to play, and that absence creates a void they can't fill. They'll check your profile, wonder what you're doing, ask mutual friends, try to provoke you. And when you give them nothing, they'll spiral. Not because you hurt them, but because you stopped mattering enough to even try. Epictetus said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." So when someone shows you they don't belong in that circle, don't announce it, don't explain it. Just quietly reconfigure your life as if they never existed. This isn't cruelty. It's clarity. And the person you're really destroying, it's not them. It's the version of you that still believed they deserved your energy. So, here's the real question. Are you strong enough to disappear into your own growth and let that be the last thing they ever see? If you're ready to understand how silence becomes supremacy, stay close. And if this resonates, let the algorithm know. It helps others find this when they need it most.
Let's talk about what happens inside their mind when you vanish. Most people think silence is passive, that it's just nothing. But neurologically, silence after conflict creates something called cognitive dissonance, a psychological fracture that forces the other person to fill the gaps you left behind. And here's what they fill it with: doubt. When you argued, they had certainty. They knew you were angry, hurt, reactive. They could predict you, control the narrative, paint you as emotional, unstable, bitter. But when you go completely silent, they lose the script. They start questioning, did I actually matter to them? Was I wrong? Are they thriving without me? Did they find someone better? The absence of information becomes more torturous than any confrontation ever could be. This is why the Stoics mastered indifference as warfare. Not hatred, not coldness, true indifference, where the person becomes scenery, background noise, a memory so faint it barely registers. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." But it's more than that. Delay becomes erasure, and erasure becomes your freedom. Now, let me show you what this looks like in practice. Someone betrays your trust, spreads rumors, ghosts you after years of friendship. Your instinct screams, confront them, expose them, make them pay. But you don't. You stop viewing their stories, stop engaging mutuals about them, stop explaining your side. You just rebuild, quietly, deliberately. 6 months later, you're unrecognizable, healthier, focused, surrounded by people who chose you intentionally. And them? They're still stuck in the same patterns, the same drama, wondering why they feel so empty. That's when they realize you didn't just leave their life, you outgrew the version of yourself that needed them in it. And there's no coming back from that. So here's your choice. Keep feeding the conflict or starve it into extinction by becoming someone it can no longer touch. The strongest revenge isn't making them hurt, it's making them irrelevant. If this shifted something in you, subscribe, not for me, but for the next version of yourself that needs this reminder.